Hello, my name is Clay Smith. I'm one of the founding members of BIB, with joining Bob Rust and Scotty Redfield and Art Cardos back in 2012. And I'm also currently a member of the core group, which attempts their best to manage the activities of, and show some leadership with the BIB, Believers in Business. But I've had some interesting things happening, challenging things happening early last year, and I wanted to talk to you about that briefly, if I may. One of the most important things I wanted to mention is that all of us, at some point in time in our lives, go through challenges with our life, whether it be health or finances or whatever it might be. So many of us have multiple versions of that. But over the past year, I was challenged with some serious health issues. And I wanted to read you just a little scripture here to interject the background on my talk. Basically, it's from Matthew 8:27, where he says, "What sort of man is that even the winds and the sea obey him?" The disciples were in a lifeboat with Jesus when a storm came up that they were totally unprepared for, and they panicked and realizing they might die. And this whole time this was going on, Jesus was sleeping peacefully. And instead of looking at Jesus' reaction to their situation, the disciples allowed the situation to dictate their reaction, their feelings. And after begging Jesus to do something, he calms the storm, but not before asking them, "Why are you afraid?" His gentle rebuke over their lack of faith wasn't because they didn't believe Jesus could save them from the storm, because they struggled to believe he would see them through it. When Jesus finds himself, when we find ourselves in a storm we can't control, how do we respond with faith? There are several things we need to realize here. In the Bible, Jesus mentions the words, "Do not fear," 365 times. And this should be a strong message to us, that we should be leaning not on our emotional reactions, but rather on our faith in Jesus, our faith in God, to help get us through everything we might be faced with. I mentioned when I first started to speak early on there that I had some challenging health issues over the last year or so, which unfortunately has limited my ability to continue to play a major role in Believers in Business, although I'm still very active with it, and my colleagues have been very faithful about keeping me involved and up to date on everything. At the same time, I also was trying to manage Community Partners for Kids, the child safety organization that I founded 20 years ago, and we've got some major things going on right now with that group, and so I've had to really focus on that. But it's been a challenging year, and people often ask me, "Well, how have you been able to deal with it? What, you're really strong. You're an inspiration." I hear all these remarks, and I'm thankful for them. I'm glad people see that and appreciate it. But during the past year, I want to tell you what we had here. I went through a series of 9 different surgical procedures where I was on an operating table for some surgery, from whether it was my hip, my leg, my chest, whatever it might be, my heart. It was challenging. 9 different surgeries we had to face. I had 3 different life-threatening infections in my body that thankfully the Lord took care of those, and they were safely fixed. So these were all things I dealt with. In addition to, early on in this whole process, I suffered a stroke. And that had major effects on me, and still has lasting effects on me. So I've been dealing with all this, but I've been able to do it in my mind, because I truly believe we were going to get through it. My personality is such that I try never to look back at things, because you can't change the past anyway. So I try to look forward all the time. But I like to believe I'm a man of faith. I love the Lord, and I keep that in the forefront of my mind. And I have faith that He's going to take me through what He's taken me through. It's been challenging. There have been times when I felt that this was really overwhelming a bit. But I came around, and I might take a night of restless sleep, but then came around to the fact that you can't change it. The Lord's going to take care of me, and we're going to get through it. Pardon me. with that in mind, I'd just like to encourage every member of BIB, anybody else that might be looking at this this video, to keep in mind that do not fear, have faith in the Lord, and rest all your fear and everything else on His shoulders instead of your own. And I'd like to offer a brief prayer to end this little message, if I might, and ask you to join in with me. Dear Lord, this has been a challenging period of time in my life. 77 years old, and it took me that long to get to the point where I probably faced the most physical challenges I've ever had to face in my entire life. But Lord, I thank you for taking me through all those 77 years. I thank you for taking me through the multiple surgeries that I had, the stroke that I suffered, the spinal cord injury that I suffered, and all those things that we dealt with over this past year. And Lord, I just thank you for being there with me. I do trust in you, and I believed early on that you were going to somehow see it through me. And as that started to develop, as you fixed one problem with me after another, I realized that it was going to work out just fine, because you wanted me to stay around because I had more work to do. And I believe that work is with my Community Partners for Business organization, as well as with Believers in Business. So my prayer, Lord, today is, please continue to heal my body. Please be with me and let me not fear when I'm faced with future challenges. And Lord, I lift up all the people that prayed for me and came to you and asked you to bring healing to me. The people and Believers in Business, my colleagues in Community Partners for Kids, and many others, family members, extended family members. Lord, I know that those prayers had a huge impact. So I'd just like to encourage everyone that may be watching this video, that if you have troubling times in your life and you're facing something that could be life-threatening even, to trust in the Lord to get you through the challenge. And reach out to Him, and have all your friends reach out to Him on your behalf, because I know it made a huge difference in my life. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and please go forward with the Lord by your side.